Hi, I'm Hannah, this is Piles of Books, and today we're going to be talking about my reading goals, where I'm at so far this year, and some changes I'm making going forward. Here's my notebook. This is my reading journal, I guess. So it has my the reading challenges that I'm participating in, and then I've also got a couple of challenges that I kind of made for myself, and all of that is in here. I really enjoy doing reading challenges, mostly just because they push me out of my comfort zone. I tend to kind of get stuck in a rut with my reading, it seems like, which is usually fine and I do enjoy it, but I have read some books due to reading challenges that I probably would not have picked up on my own in the past. So that is always fun. And then also sometimes I just don't know what to read next, and I just kind of deal with that decision fatigue. So just kind of, being able to look at a list and, either sometimes I've got a book chosen for that prompt in a reading challenge, or I need to find one or something, but just being able to look at a list and just, okay, this is what I'm going to read next. I don't have to really decide anything. That is always helpful to me as well. So that is why I enjoy reading challenges. I have had some people in real life, be like, Hannah, why do you do so many reading challenges? Why don't you just read what you want to read? And mostly it's for those two reasons. I enjoy the challenge of it, but I know it's not for everybody, but we are going to talk about that today. All right, so the first one is the first one in my book, and that is Chantel's Read Your Bookshelf Challenge. I have really enjoyed it this year. I have kind of half-heartedly participated in it in years past, but this is the first year that I am committed to completing it. So I have done each month's challenge so far, and like I said, I've really enjoyed it. So she did something super fun this year. She had basically two lines that you could pick from. So she has one based on Ella Montgomery and her books, and then one based on Sir Arthur Conan Doyle and his books. And then there's a couple of times, maybe twice throughout the year, where they come together and that month has the same prompt for whichever side you're choosing. So far, I have done Sir Arthur Conan Doyle just because that just has kind of worked out for me. The next one that I have in my book is the Reshelving Alexandria 52 book challenge. So they kind of have a bit of a theme each year, and this year it was kind of around the world. I don't know what the name of the theme actually is, but anyway, there's just a lot of reading from different continents or countries, or things that are kind of based on other places than where you're from. So that's been fun. I've read a lot of really great books for this. So far I have done 24 of the 52, and this is kind of one of the changes that I might be making for the rest of the year, but I guess I'll talk about that in a while. So anyway, I've got I went through and I wrote the prompt here in ink, and then in pencil I've written the books that I either have read or the books that I kind of plan to read for that. The ones that I've done are highlighted. So there's 52 books. Like I said, I've read 24, and then I've got a couple on the go right now that will fill prompts for that. So probably by the end of June, I'll probably have 26 or 28 of them done. So this will be the third year that I am participating in it. But the first year I did it, I did not complete the challenge. I was 10 books short or something. But last year I did complete it, and I had set a goal for myself to have it done by July. I think it was August when I finished it, but that was kind of fun, just to give myself a shorter time frame really to finish it, and then just the rest of the year I kind of read whatever I wanted to. So I haven't done that this year. I have just let it, spread out through the whole year. But anyway, this is another one that's been a lot of fun. And the last official reading challenge, I guess, is the Literary Life podcast reading challenge. So they also set a theme each year, and this year the theme is books of centuries. So they've got you read a mythology book, and then a book about the ancients, biblical times, early Middle Ages, and then starting at the 14th century all the way through the 21st, you read 2 books per each century. So this has been fun. It's been very educational. This is the second year that I've participated in this, but I did not finish it last year, so this will be the first year that I have finished this. I have currently read 14 of the 20 books in this challenge, so I've only got 6 left. But I think I've got one on the go right now. So by the end of June, I should have 15, at least 15 of them done, if I don't get another one done. This has been a really great challenge. I did a video at the beginning of the year. It's really terrible, so probably don't go back and watch it, but I had their free printable that they offer on their website, and I had gone through and chosen books for the reading challenge. I have not read very many of the actual books that I chose, which is just kind of funny to me. It's like sometimes I don't know why I do that. I should just find books as I go, but I had the grand idea to go ahead and map out like the whole challenge, and then I haven't actually done very well sticking to those specific books. But it has been a really fun challenge nonetheless. There are books that I've read that I probably would not have picked up otherwise, like The Children's Homer by Patrick Collum. I probably wouldn't have picked that up on my own. Or The Imitation of Christ is another one. I don't know that I would have chosen that on my own, but I read it in May and I did really enjoy it. So that's a really good example of why I like to do reading challenges, because there are plenty of books that I've read this year that I probably wouldn't have read if I didn't have, a good reason to do it. And then last are the 2 challenges that I kind of made for myself. So one of them, I had made a list or a video about this at the beginning of the year as well. I chose 24 nonfiction books that I wanted to read this year. And I have to say, I have not done a very good job with this. So I have read quite a few nonfiction books, but I have not stuck to my list very well. It looks like I've only done, oh, no, I've done 6. So I've got 6 books from here of the 24. That's not great. This is also something I think I'm going to change up a little bit, so I'll talk about that in a while. Just basically it boils down to there's quite a few of these books that I'm not really interested in reading at this point anymore. Like, I was excited about them in January and I'm not excited about them now, is really just what it comes down to. So I'm going to have to figure out exactly what I'm going to do about that. And the other challenge I made for myself was to read a natural health book, 1 per month, from just ones that I own. Don't buy anymore. I haven't done too badly with that. I think I've done 4, so I am a little bit behind, but I've also got 2 that I'm currently reading right now, but they're just like thicker, kind of harder to get through. So it's going to be probably a while before I finish them. That is a goal, though, that I would like to revive, get back on the wagon, and keep plugging along with that. So those are all of the reading challenges and kind of where I'm at with them. And then we'll go ahead and talk about some of the changes that I want to make and some of the other things that I've liked to do this year. All right, so the first thing is with the Reshelving Alexandria reading challenge. I have enjoyed it. It's been good so far, but just the pressure that I placed on myself to finish it is kind of getting a little unnerving, I guess. So I think probably just for the next while at least, I'm not going to focus so much on reading books specifically for that, but I do want to let myself do a little bit more mood reading and then just be able to plug in those books where they fit in the prompts, because the prompts, for the most part, I mean, some of them are really specific, but some of them are pretty broad, like a book set primarily in Asia. Well, there's lots of options for something like that. I had planned to read, is it Going Home by Randy Alcorn? And I haven't done it yet. It was on my TBR a couple of months ago and I didn't get to it. But I've also got, currently out from the library, I've got The Housekeeper and the Professor that Amy had read and recommended. That is written by, I believe, a Japanese author, but I mean, I'm assuming that it takes place in Japan, maybe not, or in Asia. But anyway, so stuff like that, like, they're not, like, most of the prompts for that are not, like, super specific. There's plenty of options. So I feel like just probably as my reading goes along, I probably could fill in those prompts without, choosing a book specifically for some of those prompts. Some of them are a bit more specific, like a book written by an English author while living abroad. So that's there's less books probably that fit that, but for the most part, they're pretty broad. So I don't think I'm going to keep prioritizing picking books specifically for that because it's just getting, the pressure is kind of getting to me, I guess, and I'm not having as much fun with it. The other thing is the nonfiction, the 24 nonfiction books that I chose for myself. Like I said, there's quite a few of them that I'm not really that interested in reading right now. These are all books that I own. They're not going anywhere. I will probably get to them at some point because I was excited enough about them to put them on my list, 6 months ago. But just as the year has gone on, and I don't know, it just, for the most part, they're not really books that I want to read right now. Like I said, those books aren't going anywhere. I'm going to keep this list in front of me, try to go back and look at it every now and then, and there are still some books that I do want to read on there, so I am going to prioritize those. The other thing is I love reading nonfiction, so I will read way more than 24 nonfiction books in a year, and so I kind of was thinking maybe I would just to make sure that I'm reading plenty of nonfiction because A, I enjoy it, like I said, and B, I think it's really good for me. I might just go ahead and just start making a list of everything I'm reading and give myself a number to get to. So maybe, like 30 or 36 nonfiction books or something. And just give myself a goal to make sure that I'm still reading nonfiction, but not specifically the ones that I have on my list. So then a couple of other things that I just wanted to add in for the rest of the year is, first of all, these Harvard classics sitting here behind me. I did a video a while back about them, and I was going to start reading them and documenting that, and then it just seemed like my life got extremely busy, and this project definitely took a back burner. So I started the first volume, where I said it in here, let me find it. So I did start the first volume, which is the autobiography of Ben Franklin, and then the Journal of John Woolman, who I believe was an abolitionist, and Fruits of Solitude by William Penn. So that is everything in here. Partly too why I kind of this project got set aside is because I still could not decide exactly how to go about it. So there are 51 books in this collection, and so if I read just one a month, that would be over 4 years of reading through this, which is fine, but I don't do very well with long-term goals. So I don't know if I should try to do like 2 a month. I don't know that I could do that. Probably not. I think I'm just going to have to this is going to be a long-term goal, I guess, to get through these. I am excited about them. I'm looking forward to it. I was missing 2 from my collection, and I found them. I found somebody who was selling, she had just some random ones, so I bought the 2 that I was missing, and they're on my way to my house, and I'm excited to be able to have the full collection here, and I am looking forward to getting into these. So I definitely just need to prioritize this, getting through this, and I think one way that will help me to do that is if I make videos specifically for this. So I probably will, I'm not sure how that's going to work out. Maybe just a couple times a month or something, I will have extra videos coming out that are just about the Harvard classics. But again, I should have thought things out a little bit better before doing that introductory video, because it didn't happen, and I feel kind of silly about it, but that's okay. Just things happen like that. It's life, it's fine. But this is going forward for the rest of the year. This project is going to be a priority. Another thing that I want to do going forward through the year is reading biographies. So when I was in high school, I read tons of biographies. That was my favorite genre. I loved reading biographies. I still really enjoy reading biographies, but I find it seems like each year I read less and less. So I chose 3 from my shelves, and these 3, I'm going to try really hard to get through these. And if I can get through these, then I will choose some more, but the 3 that I have here today are going to be my priorities. So the first one is this huge book, Beatrix Potter, A Life in Nature by Linda Lear. So I don't know even how many pages this is. It's humongous. Oh, but there's a lot of notes and stuff at the back. So it looks like the actual book is about 447 pages. So, I mean, that's still pretty big, but there's all of this here that's just notes and bibliography and all of that. So, anyway, this is one of them. The next one is A Chance to Die, The Life and Legacy of Amy Carmichael by Elizabeth Elliot. I have had this book for years and years, and I have never read it. But then I saw that Chantel is reading it. She's just going through it slowly, and that kind of motivated me, I suppose, to read it myself. So I am looking forward to getting to this one. And I've also got this, The Prize Winner of Defiance, Ohio, How My Mother Raised 10 Kids on 25 Words or Less by Terry Ryan. I truly do not know very much about this book, or really anything at all. I got it at a library sale recently. I had mentioned it in a library haul, and the guy at the library sale, he was like, this book is great and the movie is great. So the only reason I got it is because my husband handed it to me. He's one of 10 kids, so he thought it might be kind of fun. So anyway, like I said, I don't know the story at all, but I think that it will be fun to read. So next, I wanted to, for the last few years, I wanted to do this, and I've never done it, but I wanted to kind of just take one author and focus on their works. And partly, like with the Harvard Classics, one of the reasons that I haven't done this is because I couldn't decide exactly how to go about it. I need to just be a little bit more like free, footloose maybe in my reading. But anyway, so I couldn't really ever narrow down like who do I want to focus on, because that's a really huge task. But I have been thinking a lot about this author since a couple months ago, and that is Louisa May Alcott. I think I'm going to choose her to kind of be my one author for the rest of the year. I participated in Alcott April, and I really enjoyed it. My kids and I read this signature biography of her, so this is like a children's biography, and loved it. So I would like to read another biography about her. So that's another biography, I guess, for my list. And I've got 2. And then I would like to read some more of her books. So I've read Little Men and Little Women. I think I've read Joe's Boys years ago as a kid myself, but I don't know for sure. And then I read The Inheritance in April, and loved that book. So I've got 3 more books of hers, well actually 4, but 3 that I'm mostly concerned about reading. And then if I can get through all of these, I might, I don't have a copy of Joe's Boys, so I might grab a copy of that. And what else? Oh, Under the Lilacs, I think, seems like a story that I would like. So we're going to start with the 3 that I own first. The first one is Lulu's Library, and I think, I'm not completely sure, but I think that this book she wrote for her niece that she kind of ended up raising. And this is just short stories. I thought somewhere it said like fairy stories or something, but it doesn't. Anyway, this is just like short stories. And I have read a few of them to my kids over the years, but I've never read the whole thing. So I would like to read this. I've got An Old-Fashioned Girl that I've heard such good things about. And this one is Jack and Jill. So those are the 3 books of hers I have. I also have Love's Fatal Chase, which is, I guess, like an adult novel that she wrote, that I just mentioned in a haul video. I am not super concerned with reading it. I don't know. I mean, I'll probably try to get to it at some point, but these 3 are more priority over that one. And then also the biographies. So I've got some reading to do for Louisa. Okay, so there you go. Those are mostly my reading plans for the rest of the year, and just, where I am in my reading challenges and all of that. I've had a really great reading year so far. I've loved it. It's been such a fun year, but there are just some changes that need to be made and different things so that it continues to be a great year, and so that I don't get bogged down with feeling like I have to read certain things, because really, I mean, there's nobody that's saying you have to read these certain things. I would also like to read some more like theology and doctrine books, but I had none really to share with you today, so I didn't mention that. The other thing is that we do follow Ambleside Online. This is our first year doing it, and we start our school year in January. So my oldest is in year 3, and then my next child is in year 1. And I would like to do some pre-reading for year 2 and year 4. So I am going to be sticking some of those in kind of, throughout the year as well. But for the most part, just like my own leisure reading, I guess, this is all of it. I'm going to finish the Literary Life podcast reading challenge, just kind of here and there work on the Reshelving Alexandria challenge, and continue with Chantel's Read Your Bookshelf challenge, and then kind of mix it up a little bit with my own nonfiction reading challenge and my natural health books. And then, of course, throwing in these things that I mentioned, a few biographies, some books by Louisa May Alcott, and my Harvard Classics here. So I am looking forward to the rest of the year. I think it's going to be great. So definitely let me know how your reading year is going in the comments below. It's always fun to me to see what everybody else is reading and how your challenges are coming, if you're participating in any. This has been a great reading year for me, and I am looking forward to the rest of the year. So thank you so much for being here today, and we will see you in the next video.